started with budgeting and knowing what's coming in every month, what's going out every month, having a list like all the bills, what needs to be paid. And then if you can, put a little bit towards savings every month. So just like kind of really the basic of knowing what's coming in and out every month is a great start.
Welcome to BrandHive, the podcast and networking community for women founders who refuse to blend in. Check us out at brandhive.social. Welcome to the BrandHive podcast. I'm here with Shana DiMarco today. She is from the Bronx, New York, so I'm hoping to meet her in person very soon since we are so close. She has 15 years in TV broadcast, and at some point, she pivoted into the financial services, and that's what we're going to be talking about. What caused the pivoting, why, how she does it today, who she helps, and from what I understand, she has a mission of empowering individuals, family, but she has like a special spot in her heart for athletes because she is an athlete. Let's talk about how she helps people go from physically fit to financially fit.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Talk to us about how you get started on TV, producing all that stuff, and then how and why you pivot.
So I went to college for broadcasting. I wanted to be a producer for WWE. That was like my dream back then because I loved wrestling growing up. So I was like, yeah, I want to be a producer for them. So I'm going to study broadcasting. So that's where I got into that. I didn't work for them as a producer. But that's fine. I was in the industry for about 15 years. So my main career, I worked with a local New York station, Pix 11. I was with them for about 12 and, had some great experiences. Loved what I did. I was handling the on-air, the scheduling, the promos, did some Facebook Live programming. Got to be backstage a lot, which is cool. Got to meet some cool celebrities here and there. But it was just like, I was ready for a change. Things were just kind of going downhill. There was really no room for growth anymore. I'm ready for a change. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I remember, I'll tell this funny story. I was applying at other TV stations first. My background was TV. So I got an email one day from one station. It was just like, hey, it was great meeting you. We decided to go in a different direction, blah, 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 blah. And I just responded to the email. I'm like, hi, we never met. Thank you. And that's when I knew. I was like, okay, maybe it's time to get out of TV. I really had no idea what I wanted to do. And then I just, came upon the financial services industry. And I'm like, okay, one, I need to learn this for myself, if nothing else. And I love helping people. And I know, financial planning is very important. It affects everybody in some way or form. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try this, go for it. And we'll see what happens. And now I'm 4 years in. I love what I do, love helping people. And, I'm really glad I made the switch.
So we were just looking for something and that kind of fell on your lap. Were you intentional? I think that's my question. Were you intentional about going into finances or no? Okay.
It was just really, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was on Indeed looking at jobs and trying different things. And that kind of stuck out to me. And I was like, this sounds cool. If I could help people like myself that are educated and not about this, and so we'll see.
Did you decide you need to get some training or licenses, certificate, or did you just do cold outreach? Did you just apply? How exactly? What was that big step that you took that solidified you into it?
So I started my career with New York Life. That's who I applied with. I had applied one other two places, but I ended up going with New York Life. And they trained me from the beginning. They paid for all my licenses. They helped me get started because I had no experience coming in. And they said that they were like, you don't need experience. We'll train you. So, I was coming in cold. So they helped me get, started in that sense with the licenses and all and the training and, learning about the different products and stuff.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's really good. When we're getting the intake form for the BrandHive podcast, we have growth and confidence and a few things, and you chose growth. Why exactly was growth so important to you?
It was funny. I was having a conversation the other day. And it's like the minute you stop growing, you're dying kind of thing. You should always want to grow no matter what the topic is. I love learning, want to continue to grow. If you're in the same place that you were 5-10 years ago, it's not a good sign. I'm always trying to read and learn more. And again, just love helping people and helping them grow in their finances and stuff.
So I understand now. It's a growth, not just career-wise, but it's like an evolution for you. And now also ties back to what you said during TV and producing. Like, there's no more space for career growth, or you feel stuck at that. So if you're not growing anymore, it's not exciting for you anymore. I think that's what never let me really work on corporate. I feel there is a ceiling. And after that point, it's a lot of maybe more responsibility, but that doesn't mean you're learning so much more. You have more responsibility, which means more stress, and it's nice to have more money many times. But I feel that like you, I'm driven by the challenges and the learning and what is different and how you can advance and evolve. And there is definitely a ceiling in most career corporate things. So
Agreed. And like for me, it was kind of doing the same thing over and over, and I'm just, was ready for a change. And so, like I said, I had great experiences. I miss my old coworkers there, and but it was time for me.
good. So when it comes to athletes, let's talk about that. So were you an athlete when you were young or in school?
Well, I'm more of an athlete now. I actually wasn't an athlete in school. I did cheerleading when I was in like 7th, 8th grade.
Okay.
I always enjoyed sports. Like I mentioned earlier, I loved wrestling. So I actually started wrestling about 12 years ago. So I got to work with WWE in that sense. So it's funny how things come full circle. So yeah, I've been wrestling about 12 years, had some great experience and done extra work with WWE, got to be backstage WrestleMania, did a practice match in Madison Square Garden. So we really had some cool experiences in that sense, and still wrestling on and off now. And then about 3 years ago, I started doing CrossFit, and then CrossFit led me to doing strongman competitions. So I like to lift heavy things for no reason, as I like to joke with people. So, my last competition was almost like a year ago already, but I'm looking to compete before the year is over. And so, yeah, more of an athlete now. And that's where the love, for working with athletes, and a lot of my clients come from like my wrestling world and sports world and things like that. And I realize they know how to take care of themselves, but not their finances.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this. I only learned a few years ago that most of us don't know a lot about finances unless you come from a family with money. And honestly, how many of us come from family who has a lot of money? Most of us don't have a good financial management background. And I've been talking to a lot of people in finance lately. It's been blowing my mind. I didn't know it was that easy, in a sense that once you actually get access to it, you have a person to help you. It's just so good. I wish I had done that when I was 20. I could be retiring
See,
right now.
I wish too. That's why I got into it. I'm like, they don't teach us in schools. It's, like you said, unless you really come from a family of money that teaches their kids that, like my parents did well, but we never really spoke about it. They both had good jobs with good pensions, and that was it, and they're doing well for themselves in their retirement. But things are not like that anymore. There's no pensions really anymore unless you have like a government job or something. And, you don't know how to plan unless somebody teaches you and stuff. So.
I'm guessing it's more or less the same, even if you work with a family or with, a businesswoman, an athlete. What is your process when you take them from knowing absolutely nothing to being, financially educated and helping them?
So when I'm first sitting with a potential client, it's just getting to know them, really just asking them questions and, finding out what's important to them, what they do have in place, if anything. Some people do have some things in place, some have nothing. Find out what their goals are, then start coming up with a plan that's in alignment with their goals. It's, it's really individualized planning, like you said, whether it's, an entrepreneur, an athlete, family, everybody has different goals. And that's my goal, to help you achieve that. And taking the time to get to know you. And I always tell my clients, like, you're stuck with me. This is not a one-time transaction. We grow together. Again, going back to growth. Because, especially if, I'm working with younger clients, your goals change, things change as you get older. And, life changes, whether you're starting a new career or whatever it is, starting families. And so your goals are going to change, and I'm help you to, pivot the way you need to when things change for you.
Oh, that's so interesting. You are the second financial advisor or financial professional that I hear saying that, which is, especially when we get started young, like our goals change. Our goal is going to be buying a house, and then our goal is going to be having kids, and then maybe another house because now we have kids, or maybe you open up a business and you guys are there to help plan it. It blew my mind how easy you guys make it sound. Like, I'm just burning through my money. I needed somebody to help me, not just burn through my money. And that's where you guys come in, and it's literally life changing. So what has it been for you the most unexpected, I would say, maybe barrier or time sink or whatever it is, in establishing yourself in this new phase, in this new business? What has been the hardest part for you?
I think it's still the transition of going from like the corporate world to really being a business owner. Even though I technically work for a company, but you're still growing your own business and you're finding your own clients. Like with my old job, just go in, go home, so it's like I'm always kind of working to a degree. And I mean, I love it. There's no complaints about it, but it's still that growing, again, going back to growth and really seeing myself as a business owner and like, okay, I have so much more I need to do to be successful. And it's not just about, helping people, but again, that whole package together and that transition is still, crazy for me.
That makes that makes a lot of sense, because I think that you guys are kind of like real estate agents. Is like you are attached to a company, but at the same time, it's you. Your business is you, and it's a lot of your personal branding in it. So now all of a sudden you have to take care of some of the finances and the administrative stuff and the social media. We have to do all that stuff that we didn't have to do before. Like you said, you clock in, you do your work, you clock out. People usually tell you what you have to do for the day, for the week, give you the project, and now you have to foresee a whole lot of things and plan ahead, and sometimes manage a team. It's completely different.
It is, yeah.
You have to be born for this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that the person needs to be born to lead. It's just very different. Some people are very good at executing, getting the orders and executing, and some people are good at being a team leader or entrepreneurs, or like you found yourself in it. Now, this is an important one. I was going to ask you what financial mistakes you see athletes doing a lot, but I'm going to ask you too, what financial mistakes you see athletes doing a lot, and if you have, entrepreneurs, women founders, women-owned business, is if you see them also making specific mistakes that comes up more often.
I think with athletes, we've seen it a lot where they come into all this money really quick. Like they make it big and they make all this money. And then by the time they're, retire from their sport, they're broke. And it's like you had millions and millions of dollars that most people will never see in a lifetime. And you spent it in your 5-year career or 10-year career or whatever it is. So I think that's like the biggest mistakes when it comes to like the real, the higher professional athletes. A lot of them don't have any guidance. And I've seen it so many times where it's just like, you've seen it on TV. It's like, oh, this person's broke. It's like, how? So I think that's when it comes to athletes, just when you're going from just regular, I guess, money, then being super rich really quick and just not knowing. And then it's like, oh, well, I got more money coming in. So I can buy this new car. I can buy this new house and buy this trip. I'm all for you, treat yourself, but you still have to plan for your future. And they forget that their career is going to end fairly quickly compared to other people that work 65 or whatever it is. And then I think with business owners, it's just, sometimes if they're just not educated about the whole process of business, like how you were mentioning before, you have to do admin, you have to do this, you have to do that. A lot of people come in and it's just like, oh, I can just do this. But there's so much more. And then again, they're not knowing their books, what's coming in, what's going out. That's what I've seen a lot in like the business owner world. So just knowing everything and how to plan and knowing each part of your business and the money that's coming in and out.
So for a person, no matter if it's an athlete or if it's a business owner or if it's the head of the family, is there, how can I say this, like a habit? Is there a habit that somebody can adopt to get started on a good path? Of course, ideally, they would work with somebody like you. But just to get started, because I know a lot of us, when we come to people like you, it's such a mess. Is there any nice habit just to start putting us on track?
I think starting with budgeting and knowing what's coming in every month, what's going out every month, having a list like all the bills, what needs to be paid. And then if you can, put a little bit towards savings every month. So just those basic of, okay, I know I have 5,000 coming in. I have 4,000 of bills going out. So that's 1,000 left over, and knowing what you're doing with that 1,000. And okay, I'm spending too much on this. So just like kind of really the basic of knowing what's coming in and out every month is a great start. And then try to save from there.
Creative people are going to love this. You're telling everybody, like, do a spreadsheet and please track what's coming in and out.
Whatever it is, you want to write it down. There's plenty of apps now that you can do it. It's not the most fun thing in the world. And, seeing like, oh, I'm really spending so much. And people are like, I don't want to know what I'm spending.
You said you did a career change when you were around 35 years old. If anybody around your age or 40 or 30, sometimes I think that the earlier that we want to do this kind of switches, the better, but that's really not true. I have also discovered that after our mid 30s to 40s, we have so much more clarity on the person we are, what we want from life, the people we want around us, right? We have lived more or less half of our lives, and now we are thinking, how do I want to live the rest of my life? And we know a little bit more about it. So if anyone is considering a pivot, what is your best advice?
I mean, honestly, just go for it. I mean, of course, do your research. You know, you want to be happy. Like, there's so many people that are just working for a paycheck and they're miserable, or, you know, they're not enjoying what they want to do. So we want to be happy in life, you know, and have a good work-life balance and those type of things. And I get it. We got to make money. We got to pay bills and that type of stuff. So, you know, do your research and, you know, find out what you really want to do, and don't let your age or anything, like, you know, what's the word? Like, stereotypical, or, you know, like social norms stop you from, you know, doing what you want to do. It's your life. Be happy. So go for it.
Can you tell me usually the type of services that you do? And if anyone wants to work with you, how can you help them?
So there's the insurance side, there's investment side, planning. It's just every, you know, it's really individualized. So when a person comes to me, it's like, okay, you know, it might be a beginner, like I don't even know how to budget or how to save, and I can start helping them with that. Or someone that's more advanced, where it's just like, okay, I want to have a portfolio and invest in this. So you know, it can vary. But you know, like I do focus a lot on the insurance side too. Like everybody should have life insurance, whether you have dependents or not. The benefits of growing your money through it and everything else is great. And then having that death benefit as well. I'm so sick of seeing the GoFundMe's for like funeral costs and things like that. Why put your family through that? You know, they're already mourning you and you're, you know, losing you. And then now they have to worry about, you know, financial burdens on top of it. So, you know, you should have something in place. You know, it really depends on the person, but there, you know, there's a lot of services that I can provide.
Interesting. I have not thought about that because my husband is always talking about life insurance,
Mm-hmm.
but because he's a safety manager, he knows all the risks, and he's a safety manager for construction company, so he goes into construction sites, he sees a lot of accidents. But I have never thought about it because I'm always like, what's going to happen? Like, I barely drive to my office, but
You know, life is scary. You know, I mean, we're
yeah,
living long,
yeah,
healthy
that was it. The
lives.
way you actually phrased it made a lot of sense. Like people already mourning, and you don't want them to have the burden of thinking of all the finances and all. And
Yeah,
if you're already working with a professional person like you, they can always just come to you, and you're gonna have everything, you know, in order and good to go in that regard.
exactly.
One
And so,
last
you know,
thing.
I realized a lot of my clients too, they kind of felt embarrassed at first because I don't know nothing, or I have debt, I have this, and that's okay. We're here to help. We're not here to judge you. And if somebody's judging you, then you need to work with somebody else. So,
Perfect.
yeah,
That's your sign. If you're not feeling comfortable with your financial advisor,
you have to feel
you
comfortable.
have to switch.
Yeah, and
Here
that's,
is Shayna. Go work with her. Like
yeah,
they're not here to judge you, they're here to help you. Perfect.
exactly. I want people to feel comfortable with me, especially we're talking about your money, we're talking about your planning. You have to feel comfortable. And if you don't feel comfortable, that's okay. Find somebody that you do feel comfortable with. Like, I want you to get help. If it's not me, that's fine. Like, you know, so it's, you really do have to feel comfortable, and you shouldn't be embarrassed if you have debt or something. Most people have debt. Our country has a million gazillion dollars in debt, so it's all right.
Nobody's perfect. We all been there.
Exactly.
Uh, where can people find you to work with you?
I would say between LinkedIn and Instagram. You can find me by my name on either, actually. My Instagram handle is Shana Builds Wealth. So
Perfect.
again, I'm on LinkedIn
Perfect.
too, so you can connect with me on there. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm always here to help people.
Do you want to share your email or phone? Is there a better way for a person to contact you? Or is it just better to go to social media? Which one do you prefer?
Either or is fine. You know, I usually check social media pretty often.
Okay, so I'm going to put all your contact information on the show notes.
Okay.
I would say go to social media first, people, if she is responsive and if
And that
she's
way you can see
there.
me too. People want to know who they're working with, so that way you get a little more. You can see me.
Oh yeah, I definitely stalk who I'm working with. Like I
Yeah.
like it, but I want to see if you're in there, what you're talking about, how you're interacting. Just it helps us get to know the person. There is only so much lie that you can put on the internet. If you just keep track of it, you can tell if that person is a good match for you or not.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so it
Perfect.
works. Yeah.
I love talk to you. Thank you so much for being
Likewise.
here. I really appreciate it. I think to keep track of, the best thing would be when we can work with a financial person, a professional, and it's way better than we would think. And I say like me, like immigrant, women of color, all those things that don't play in our favor. We
Yeah.
don't have the
Because
education for it, and we think it's scarier, and we're gonna pay a lot for, and it's not. It was surprising to see that it's not difficult. You don't have to have a lot of money up front. No, like it's the other way around.
I always tell
Go
people
in with what you have and they help you.
it's free to talk to me. So that's it.
It's free.
You
Go talk. It really does help. I'm here, like my heart goes to people like us,
Yeah,
minorities, that we really need this kind of help. And like I said, seems scary, but they are not there to judge. They help us so much. Go talk to them.
exactly. Don't be embarrassed about it. It's all of us have debt. I've been through debt too. So it's like, don't worry. you know.
Well, thanks again, Shani. It was really nice talking to you. Thanks for watching this episode of BrandHive Podcast. Don't forget to go to brandhive.social to see our upcoming events in New Jersey, New York, and get in touch if you want events in your city. See you on the next episode. Ciao, ciao.